Every leader has an opponent. Sometimes it's the economy. Sometimes it's the competition. Sometimes it's the difficult people you have to deal with. You know, sometimes it's circumstances beyond your control. But the greatest opponent you'll ever face is the person staring back at you in the mirror. Because the greatest limitations in leadership are rarely external, they're internal. Think about your pride. Think about your fear. Think about your insecurities, or perhaps your ego, your unforgiveness, or maybe it's your need to always be right. And what you refuse to confront will eventually control. Today's conversation isn't about becoming a better manager. It isn't about becoming a better speaker. It isn't even about becoming a better executive. It's about becoming a better man, a better woman, a better leader. Because leadership always rises or falls on character. Welcome back to Rise to Lead. I'm Doran Anderson. If this is your first time joining us, thanks for being here. My mission is simple: to help ordinary people become extraordinary leaders, not simply by teaching leadership, but by developing the leader within. Because titles don't transform people, character does. If you're new here, subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs it. Go check out my Rise to Lead leadership platform to understand all of our offerings. With that, let's get into today's conversation. Success doesn't change you, it reveals you. You see, one of the biggest myths in leadership is this: if I can just get promoted, everything will get better. But promotion doesn't create character, it reveals it. Pressure reveals what preparation concealed. Money doesn't change people. Influence doesn't change people. Power doesn't change people. They expose who we already are. That's why you've seen so many gifted leaders lose everything. Not because they're not talented, but because talent carried them further than character could sustain them. Your gifts may open the door. Your character determines whether you stay in the room. The mirror doesn't lie. The mirror has no agenda. It doesn't flatter you. It doesn't criticize you. It simply reflects reality. Leadership requires the courage to ask difficult questions. Am I coachable? Do I listen more than I speak? Do I defend myself too quickly? Can I admit when I'm wrong? Do people feel valued after talking with me? Am I leading from conviction or from insecurity? Those questions are uncomfortable, but growth begins where excuses end. The leader who never examines himself eventually deceives himself. I've spent more than 2 decades leading people. I have had the privilege of leading in manufacturing, aerospace, transportation, environmental services, union environments, non-union organizations, small teams, and large organizations. But the greatest leadership lessons didn't happen in boardrooms. They happened in private moments. Moments when I had to admit, man, I handled that wrong. Moments when I realized I was trying to prove myself instead of serving others. Moments when I discovered that confidence without humility becomes pride. I've also experienced seasons of deep disappointment, professional setbacks, personal heartbreak, moments that forced me to ask not, why is this happening to me, but what is God trying to teach me through this? These moments became my classroom because God often develops our character long before he expands our influence. Think about this. The leaders we remember most, They're the ones that left the lasting impact in your life. And chances are you don't remember them because they were the smartest. You remember them because they were consistent. They were honest. They were steady. They were authentic. They were available. People admire your intelligence, but they trust your integrity. Trust is leadership's greatest currency, and once trust is lost, it takes far longer to rebuild it than it did to destroy it. That's why protecting your character is the most important leadership decisions you'll ever make. The Bible is filled with leaders who faced the mirror. Moses had to confront insecurity. David had to confront temptation. Peter had to confront fear. Paul had to confront pride. None of them were perfect, but each one allowed God to shape them. You see, God isn't looking for perfect leaders, He's looking for surrendered leaders. Leadership isn't pretending you've arrived, it's remaining teachable for the rest of your life. Before you close this episode, I want to challenge you with 5 questions. I want you to write them down. I want you to reflect on them. I want you to pray about them. Number 1, what insecurity still influences my decisions? Number 2, where has pride quietly taken root? Number 3, who has permission to tell me the truth? Number 4, what habit is limiting the leader I'm becoming? And finally, if my family and closest friends describe my leadership, would they use the same words my coworkers use? You see, those questions require honesty, but honesty creates freedom. Here's what I've learned. Leadership isn't becoming someone else. It's becoming the person God created you to be. Every setback, every difficult conversation, every disappointment, every victory, every season of waiting is shaping the leader in the mirror. Don't run from that process. Embrace it because the world doesn't simply need more successful leaders. It needs more healthy leaders. Leaders with integrity, leaders with humility, leaders who serve before they're served, leaders who are the same person on Friday night as they are Monday morning. That's the kind of leadership that changes families, changes organizations, changes communities, and ultimately changes lives. Before we leave today, I want you to do something. The next time you stand in front of a mirror, don't ask, how do I look? Ask, who am I becoming? Because one day, your title will disappear. Your office will belong to someone else. Your accomplishments will fade, but your character will be your legacy. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who's serious about becoming the leader they're called to be. Follow Rise to Lead wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube and visit risetolead.com to learn more about our upcoming leadership experiences and coaching. Until next time, keep rising, keep leading, and never stop becoming the leader you were created to be. God bless you.